with Boston Dynamics, I, I think the reason that it fits for us is that we're taking technologies and applying them in new ways, or taking brand new stuff that's like actually people aren't sure what it's good for, or it seems like it's good for something, but like we're really, it's new and it's kind of innovative and it's like very experimental. Like we're very comfortable in that space. And so BD is really on the edge of that, because I would say there's notions about how it works. There's notions of what it could be good for. But if you think about it as a designer, you're competing with an intern walking around with a clipboard, right? You're competing with just plug all the sensors in on an Ethernet cable. You don't need a robot dog to walk around if everything is instrumented, right? Like if everything has an IoT and is feeding stuff up to the cloud, you don't need a dog to walk up to it and look at it, right? So it's like, what is it good at? Where are the places where the value of its mobility, and kind of the fact that it can roam around is really valuable and solves a problem that otherwise would be like super expensive, really complicated. So examples that are extreme in that way are places like nuclear power plants, where for somebody to suit up or for anything to go into that space is going to be a huge problem or a huge ordeal. Send in the thing and have it roam around, because by the way, the power plant was probably built 40 years ago. And, you can take the instruments, you can carry stuff around, you can drive it around, you can teleoperate it because it can walk upstairs, right? Like even another good example is why robot dogs when you could make a little thing with tank treads? What about something with wheels? If you can drive around an RC car, then it's probably simpler or cheaper to do that. So do that, right? And I just think about like a SWAT team dog, or like a dog that can roam around and like do bomb. It's just like, yeah, it's fine. That thing can climb upstairs too. So yeah. I think the question is like, it's so compelling, but it's like, it needs to be able to, or it needs to roam around a large space, and it needs to do it frequently. It needs to do it with a lot of instrumentation, or the instrumentation is so expensive that you only really want one of them for a huge facility. Mm-hmm. And it's doing things like it's pointing thermal cameras at all the transformers in a substation, right? And it just goes and does the rounds, and it's just taking pictures of like, oh, that transformer is heating up. So you can't put thermal cameras on every single transformer, but you could put one on a dog and have it roam around every day, and that keeps the power on instead of having it crack. Like it's the first time that there's not an outage, like it's worth it because that substation is in the middle of nowhere, right? Like those are the kind of applications where the value of the mobility, the flexibility, is like you're bringing those systems where it makes sense. And it's super compelling to look at. So sometimes like it's also spot as a celebrity. So like the other stuff we've worked on has been, we wanted to dance in a casino, and we want it to be in our Katy Perry's calling and she wants it in her music video. It's like, yeah, we'll help. We'll help Katy with that. It's in 10 days. Okay. Yeah. Like we'll go to LA and do that. Because it's so, and by the way, when we went to LA, which I think is fun, and as a Portland, Oregon resident, it's also like the antithesis, because, I don't need to explain. You can Google the differences, but in LA with Spot walking around a music video set for a global pop superstar, it's the most jaded people you could imagine. Right. They've seen everything. They don't care. Like they're just doing their jobs, and they're all professionals. Like, and they have, just like superstars walking by. They're like, they've seen it all. They've seen everything. Spot walks by, and every single person is like, boom, eyes on Spot. Right. And so there's just something about it. That's just kind of magical and weird. It's like, it's really, really interesting to see it come face to face with it. So yeah, I don't know what that is. And I don't know if that's in line with BD's marketing material that it does that, but it definitely has that ability. So we like to play with it for that reason too.